5 years ago, me and everyone in this city experienced the love lost so tragic that I've decided to bring love back to the city that I love. For I am the love arrow.
This is Love Arrow. What do you need?
Love Arrow, you have 3 missions today, all involving different types of love. Do you choose to accept them?
Yes, I do. If I can't help those who need love, I don't know who can.
Oh my god, look at my guinea pig Toby. Isn't he freaking cute?
Is that a rat?
It's a guinea pig!
It looks like a rat!
It's a freaking beautiful guinea pig! You want to see him in a costume? Look how cute he is in a costume.
You dress a rat in a costume? What does he eat, like cheese?
He's not a rat! He's a guinea pig. He loves lettuce and he loves food and carrots. Look how cute he is. I bought him a playpen. Isn't he beautiful?
No, he's not.
He is.
Leatherface! You call each other friends. But what type of love is this but the most unnatural? Tell me, what truth do you both share?
We like to take selfies.
Selfies? That is what your basis of friendship is on?
You want to see?
Yes, let me see the selfies.
There we go. There's one.
Ooh.
Okay. Fair enough. Your love was going to fail this city, but it seems to have prospered. Fare thee well, women.
We were supposed to go eat an hour ago.
Well, I don't know where I want to go.
Well, you need to hurry up.
You need to hurry up.
Eros love. That is what you two are supposed to be in. Tell me, what does Eros love mean to you?
Free food.
That is wrong! Bad. What does Eros love mean to you?
Him picking where we eat.
Wrong! Eros love is about the feelings of the other person. You always want to put them first. Much as what was said in the Bible. You must love each other like Christ loved the church and die for the other one. Die to yourself. Love arrow strikes again.
Hey sis, what do you want to watch on TV?
We watch TLC?
I don't want to watch TLC.
Why not?
Because it's for women.
It's not just for women. They have other shows on there.
Oh yes, because whatever the dress show is totally for guys.
Okay, but one day you're gonna have to sit there anyway, and then you'll know what you're gonna talk about.
Love arrow strike! Affection. The familial love. It is the humblest of loves, and it has no discrimination, regardless of gender roles. Now tell me, isn't this one of the longest relationships you have ever had, familial-wise?
Yes.
I guess so.
Then show each other some respect and love on each other. Hug, gosh darn it!
Ooh.
Or fist bump. Love arrow wins again. The mission was a success. All 3 couples, relationships, all of them are now back to the way love is supposed to be. This is the Love Arrow signing off. Good night. Hi, this is Zach Blake for New Life Health Ministries coming at you with this month's video. So, I see you all have just watched Love Arrow. Pretty sure it won't be getting a sequel unless the studio greenlights it. Probably won't, but who knows. Anyway, so while that was fun and kind of silly and goofy, I kind of want to be serious right now and talk about love. Well, very serious now, was it? Love is a fantastic thing. Alright? It does more than people think. You know, when you think about the word love, most people immediately jump to, oh, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, that sort of thing. That's called eros. See, C.S. Lewis wrote a book called The Four Loves, and what it does is it's a book that explains 4 of the major types of love that is found in everyday life. And it's important that we look at love holistically in the way it affects our mind, body, and spirit. Right? Love is a good feeling. It's great. I mean, when people say that they feel all warm and fuzzy inside, that's not something bad. You know, when you get a hug from your mom, or you get a kiss from your significant other, right? It feels good. It lets you know that there's someone that cares about you, and it's fantastic. And it has to do with, in the mind, you know, it has to do a lot with certain chemicals that are released. Dopamine, serotonin, and the one that I'm going to go in detail on is oxytocin. Alright? Now, oxytocin is the chemical that gets released when a couple has sex. Yes, I just said sex. Kind of a taboo subject for, you know, in Christianity and stuff like that. But God made it to be good, right? And what did He intend for it when He made it? For it to be done between a man and a woman, and just those two, right? When they're married. That's what He intended it to be. Because every time a person has sex and oxytocin is released, then that makes you fall in love with the person. See, love for an object tends to become an idol, and it's bad. Love for an action can become an idol, and that's bad. So, when you have people who go and have sex with multiple other people, well, the oxytocin still gets released. But they don't fall in love more with that person. They fall in love with the action and the addiction of doing that. Right? So they fall in love with the feeling of love, not what the love is supposed to be focusing on, which is that person. And I mean, it does it for just about every other thing you could possibly love. Right? But we'll get to that as we break down the different types of love. Alright? So, you know, that's how it affects your mind. Right? The release of chemicals, how then your body is wired, how your mind's wired with love. So, let's move on to talk about the different types of love. Alright? So let's talk about affection. Affection is the humblest of loves. It has the least discrimination. Why is that? Because it's familial love. Love within your family. Love with things that are familiar to you. It's the type of love a mother has for its child. They have affection for it. They feel familiar to it. You know, when people go off to college, right, and they come home for Christmas, it's a great feeling, right? You get a home-cooked meal, you get to be with your parents. It's awesome, right? Well, that's a type of love. And it gives you warm and fuzzy feeling inside. It's great. You know? How is it the least if I can talk. How is it the least discriminatory, if that is a word? It may not be. I'm not sure. How How does it show the least discrimination? Well, it's family. Your family's your family. You're going to show them love and have a love for them no matter what. It's almost the closest thing to unconditional love as possible. Right? A mother is always going to love its child, is always going to be worried about it. I was just watching an episode of X-Files the other night, and on the episode, spoilers for anybody who watches X-Files, just fast forward for like the next 3 minutes if you have to. Scully's mother is in the hospital. Scully drives there, and her mother asks for her son Charlie, who's estranged to her. Alright? Well, they end up getting Charlie on the phone to talk to his mom. And they talk, and hangs up the phone, and she dies. The mother dies. Why did she want to speak to her estranged child? Because she wanted to make sure that he would be okay without her. That's affection. That's love right there. But just like, you know, all loves, it can end up becoming a demon. How? Well, in my personal opinion, I like to think that when people try to please their family members with actions rather than just loving the person for who they are. You know, you think about all the funny TV shows where, you know, they're trying to please the mom. They're trying to get the golden star, the okay from the mom by doing all these things. Well, that kind of love's becoming a little obsessive. And you start worshiping the idea of that love. And that's when it becomes a demon, because you're obsessed with it. It almost becomes an idol. Oh, I have to make her love me. There's a chance she loves you, but she shows it in a different way. Alright? Let's move on to friendship love. Friendship love is, according to C.S. Lewis, the least natural of loves and the least needed of the loves. For in certain standpoints, like you don't need friendship to breed or to live, technically. But I think that friendship love is very important. Alright? So, when it's friendship, you know, you have a truth that you share with someone. Right? That's how it's friendship. If you don't have something, C.S. Lewis calls it a truth. If you don't have a truth that you share with that person, it's not friendship. The truth could be anything, literally. You can be friends about a movie, or a video game, or a book, or, you know, blogs, YouTube videos, anything. But if you don't share a truth, then you're not friends, you're an acquaintance. So friendship occurs over something that forms a bond. Alright? And friendship's great. Friendship, I think that you can get extremely close in friendship. It's fantastic. You know, you have that best friend that you tell everything, that you talk to, that you call. You know, when I think of friendship, I like to think of the TV show Scrubs with Turk and JD. I mean, they showed friendship love to the extreme. And they truly loved each other. And that's okay. Because, you know, just because you have friend love does not mean, you know, you're a homosexual. Because there are those people who think that just because two guys share, or two girls share that sort of friendship love where they're close, that it makes them homosexual. And it doesn't. That's not how it is. You know, in the Bible, David and Jonathan were really close friends. In the book, C.S. Lewis writes about them, talking about the idea on homosexuality, but it isn't like that at all. But, you know, people who want friends, who fall in love with the idea of friendship, that's how this type of love can become a demon. Clamoring for attention, just wanting it. Just, I gotta have a friend. You can't be friends with someone and the truth be friendship. Oh, you want a friend? No, I want a friend. Okay, let's be friends. It doesn't work like that. There's nothing strong that's going to keep it together. It can end up hurting you in the long run. And it ends up creating another idol. Right? So, let's move on to Eros. The one where when you say the word love, most people think about. Alright? Romantic love. Eros. But what does this type of love mean? Most people, you know, would say, oh, well, husband and wives and sex, right? Eros love, yes, Eros love is romantic, and it is generally between two significant others who want to spend their life together. Eros love is all about putting into the other person and putting them first. Alright? Yes, is sex associated with Eros? True. But there are people who go and have sex without Eros being involved. And that's what we call Venus. And Venus is bad. Alright? Remember all that stuff at the beginning of the video that I talked about, the oxytocin and all that? Yeah, bad. Can really mess someone up. With Eros, it's all about putting their needs before your own. It's very selfless, in my opinion. You have to love that person like Christ loved the church and die for them. You know? It's important. And it's a type of love that, you know, feels great. To know that you have that one person that cares about you enough to put your needs before their own. But anyway. So, all of these loves that I've just talked about are very horizontal, right? They're on this horizontal plane, or our plane, where we are. Spiritually, there's this other plane that's above us. Alright? That plane is where God is, and we're below. Alright? Now, the fourth love is agape. God love. Alright? God is love. Period. Alright? I mean, He sent His Son to die on the cross for our sins. Because He loves us. Because He wants to be with us. I mean, to be honest, He loves us so much that it's not quantifiable. Alright. He wants us, and He loves us. And He shows that love for us constantly throughout the Bible. I mean, just look at the Old Testament for a second. Alright? The Jewish people constantly broke the covenant. They constantly went back to their old ways. They were constantly worshiping idols, and they were not following the laws appropriately. And God would punish them. But He still loved them. He still took care of them. Even when they were in exile, He brought them back. He took care of them. That love is the love that keeps me going. That type of love is the one that makes me want to get up in the morning. And that type of love is the love that makes me want to sit down and make these type of videos to share with all of you. So back to the planes. Not like airplanes. Like planes. We're here and God's here. His love then becomes vertical. And it hits us. And when it hits us, it transforms us into this completely new person. And what do we do with the love that He gave us? Well, we spread it out. And we show that love through us. And this is the love that everybody should be trying to get after. This is the love that is addicting. This is the love that you never want to be content with. You always want to be seeking more and more and more of Him. You know? And here's the other thing. The previous 3 loves that I talked about all can fail. You know? For it to be considered a relationship of any kind, it takes 2 people. Well, if one person backs out, it has failed. Here's a secret. God will always be there, ready to feed into your spirit, ready to feed your soul, because He loves you, and He wants to take care of you. And when He feeds you, and when you have that hunger for Him, and it just, you can feel it, and it's wonderful. You want to go and spread it. You know, this video is difficult for me to make right now because some things have happened over this last week, and my great-grandmother had a heart attack, and we've been told that she isn't going to make it through the weekend. Driving down from Ohio, my mom got into a really bad accident. They're okay, but the car got totaled and just had more worries on the mind. During that same day, my great-uncle got lost, was missing for 9 hours. He has Alzheimer's, but we eventually found him. You know, all of these worries, all these anxieties, all of this stress. And here I am making a video about love. Because that's how strong God's love is. It's amazing. His love never fails. It never gives up. And it will never run out on me. And it will never run out on you. I promise. You just have to let Him in and be open to Him. You know, in our life, we go through so much chaos and disorder that really the only thing that I can see us possibly forcing us to keep moving on is love. And I want to say that it's God's love that makes me want to do even more. feel called to do this right now. If you're watching this video and you feel led to wanting to talk more about God, or you just feel lost right now, I want you to email me, call me, anything. Email the actual group. Do something. Reach out to us so we can help you. We're reaching out, and we want to help. Because even though we don't know you, God loves you. And we love you too. No matter who you are. We just want to show you love and to help you. So, at the end of the video, I'm going to put 2 email addresses, my phone number. If you want to get in contact me, please. Anyway, just want to say I love you all out there in internet land. Thanks for watching. Like us on Facebook at New Life Health Ministries. Follow us on Instagram. If you like this video for New Life Health Ministries, don't forget to like New Life Alliance on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And have a happy Valentine's Day. God bless you all. Good night.